Hey!
What? He'd probably be
do not get up in my face like this. You do not want to be playing this. We can't talk man to man?
We can't talk man to man?
I don't think that's possible.
That's not possible? Why?
I don't think it's possible because there's only one man standing in this aisle right now. Now sit down, little miss. Before I go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get TSA to come on this plane and haul you off. You want to make that big of a show about it?
Why would they haul me off?
You want to make that big of a show? Because you're not confirming the docket that I have.
You don't want to identify me as such?
The government chose what to identify you when you were born in a hospital. They wrote M or F next to your birth certificate.
Okay, it's my life.
That was dictated by a power much greater than mine.
And it's my life, and I don't feel that way.
A higher power than me.
I'm not the authority. I'm a man.
I'm not the authority that assigned you.
She need to get up out of his
face. Any authority at all.
She need to get up out of his face.
I agree. Thank you, sir. If you continue this display, if you cannot confirm what my docket says here, that there are in fact 2 ladies sitting in this aisle,
there is one.
Then
I'm sorry.
you're gonna have to leave.
Correct. There is one lady and 1 man.
Well, that's not what it says I need in these seats in order to fly. So if you're going to continue to fight the facts that I'm looking at right here, then I'm going to have to haul you off because you could be a dangerous person. We don't know. We have no way of confirming
because I identify as a male.
Because you're not the person on my list. You're not the person on my list.
A man?
It's a simple one of 2 answers.
Are you mad because I'm more man than you?
There's no gray zone.
Is that what you're mad about?
Is it really that big of a deal?
You want to get up in my face right now? I don't need this job. Look, you want to play big and tough man? You want to play big and tough man? All right. Look.
What?
No, don't lose your job. Don't lose your job. Don't lose your job.
You're right. I'm better.
Don't lose your job. Don't lose your job.
You're better than that.
Don't lose your job.
You're not good enough to identify me.
Sit down, ma'am.
Because in court, that's not gonna be. In court, that's not gonna be a man. Don't lose your job. Don't lose your job, brother. Don't lose it.
That's a good point, bro.
In court, that's not a man.
Stop it. Get some help.
There's entitlement and demanding other people to respect their delusional gender and ridiculous pronouns is becoming so cringe at this point. They're always trying to force it and shove it down our throats, and at the end it backfires on them all of the time. I always say identify however you like, but don't force it on other people. And huge respect to the guy that said in court that's not gonna be a man. That's genuinely a good human being looking out for other people.
Good afternoon to you, Shivani.
Good afternoon, Julia. You know my pronouns are they, them. How are you doing?
Yeah. Thank you for telling me your pronouns. I use correct grammar, so the only thing I would need to refer you to is to your face would be you. But I'm not being rude. You can choose your pronouns. You can choose what you want to call yourself, but you don't get to require me to use incorrect grammar and factually incorrect things. You're not a plural. You're a one person. And you're a female person, so I will use she and her. Thank you very much.
Do what you like, I guess.
Well, there you are. You didn't need to tell me then, did you?
Maybe I'm just making sure people know in case they're watching and they want to refer to me respectfully.
Is it disrespectful for me to use correct factual grammar?
It's not incorrect or unfactual grammar to use singular they them pronouns for an individual. But we're here to talk about the cast review.
Yeah, but you chose to bring it up.
You chose to use the incorrect pronouns for me.
I chose to use the correct pronouns for a single woman who is appearing on my show.
I'm not a single woman, though. I'm a very special non-binary trans person, as you just pointed out.
See, this is the problem. When they're trying to force it and shove it down people's throat, they deserve to get this kind of backlash.
Oh, hey, happy Pride Month. I just want to tell everyone here how proud I am of being straight. Also want to tell everybody how proud I am of the white heritage that I have. I'm proud of being male. Except I don't need to dance around in my underwear down the street in front of children to prove it. I also don't need a month. I really don't need anything. Why is that? I'm not a narcissistic piece of shit. Happy Pride Month.
Can a man identify as a woman?
He can identify as a woman. If he chooses, sure.
Does that make him a woman?
No. 100% no.
So should men be able to compete in women's sports?
Absolutely not. Why would you allow a man who has gone through male puberty to compete in women's sports? Like, would you allow Money Mayweather to go fight against other female MMA? Like, absolutely not.
A man cannot be a woman can never be a man, my kid.
Are men and women equal?
Look, Allah said that the man is not like the woman is not like the man. We are different, okay? Although a plane and a car still both run on jet fuel, they are both different creations. That's it.
Do you understand what's going on, though?
Yes.
You're going into oncoming traffic.
I know, and I just decided that it was better just to turn around and delete.
Okay.
But I'm sorry. I just have like really bad social anxiety and stuff.
I get you.
I don't want to step out whenever you're asking for stuff.
Okay, well, we're past that. Just go ahead, step out.
As an Indigenous person.
Right back here, please. Miss Perry?
Well, I'm non-binary, so.
Okay, what do you go by?
It's Kai.
How can I refer to you tonight? Kai? Okay. Hey, I'm smelling alcohol.
I know.
How much have you consumed tonight?
Probably 3 drink.
I need to run you through some tests right now. Stand facing me, please.
But I just want you to know that I also have very bad social anxiety.
You and me both.
Okay.
Okay? Any recent head trauma, traumatic brain injuries, anything I need to know about?
Mental, yes.
Focus on my finger, please.
I am. You're just like trying to intimidate me.
I don't know how I'm trying to do that.
Bro, she's doing anything in her power to avoid that DUI. But the cop is not having none of it. And yeah, this is one of the traits that these woke people have. Play the victim in any kind of situation, even if you are in the wrong.
So what is a woman?
Why do you ask that question?
I just really like to know.
What do you think the answer to that question is?
Well, I'm asking. That's why I came to a college professor who's this is what you do.
What other kinds of answers have you gotten?
A lot of like this, where you're not answering, and I've gotten a lot of that. So
I think it's interesting that you say that some of the people you've interviewed have been reluctant to answer it, and I think that has a lot to do with the questions that preceded it, and the way that you've conducted yourself in the interview.
How have I conducted myself?
How do you think you've conducted yourself?
You just really don't want to answer the questions, do you?
I came today very willing and enthusiastic about answering questions about women's and gender sexuality studies, which is the work that I do.
You wanted to answer questions about women's studies, and so shouldn't the first answer you should be able to provide is what exactly is a woman?
Well, for me, it's actually a really simple answer, and that's a person who identifies as a woman.
But what are they identifying as?
As a woman.
But what is that?
As a woman.
In the West, they got a movement called wokeness, where you are super sensitive about other people's issues, and you become hypersensitive when other people somehow or other say things or mention things or refer to you without the respect which you or your super subgroup feel you are entitled to. It leads to very extreme attitudes and social norms, particularly in some academic institutions, universities. You talk about safe spaces, you talk about appropriate pronouns, you talk about how I'm about to say something which may be offensive to you. If you don't want to hear it, perhaps you'd like to leave now. And life becomes very burdensome. And I don't think we want to go in that direction. It does not make us a more resilient, cohesive society with a strong sense of solidarity. We must be more robust.
I mean, is he wrong though? I heard nothing but facts.
God is gay! 150,000 people die every single year. Hey, God's not gonna be mocked. God is not gonna be mocked, okay? You gotta repent and believe the gospel. You see, God died for you. God is not an enemy. He's not your enemy. He's not your enemy. God is not your enemy. God loves you. God loves you. God loves you. God loves you. And you can be set free from that demonized society. I know you think you have to do this, but you don't have to do this. Just come home. Come home to God, okay? Come home. Come back. Come back. God is gay. 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 It's just you. God is gay. It's just you, though. Listen. 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 Whatever's inside of you,
I honestly don't know why we're having a conversation with people like this. This is a mockery to all religions, and people like this need to be in mental health hospitals.
So you think it's fine to say to religious people that they are prohibited from gathering outside, wearing a mask, socially distanced? They can't do it. But if you want to come and protest and defund the police, if you want to support that, that's fine. You can gather en masse, person to person, close up, thousands of people. That's okay. That discrimination's okay. That's your position.
Senator, that is not my position. It was
your position. It's what you argued.
I did not write these orders. What I said.
You defended it in court, and you just articulated to me what I take to be your position. Why were the restrictions that you defended struck down as discriminatory? Why were they? You know the facts. You were a good lawyer. Why'd you lose?
Senator.
Oh, come on, Judge. Don't make me do this. Do you want me to go through it for you? You lost because Mayor Bowser was going to mass protests herself personally with thousands of people. At the same time she was doing that, she was prohibiting churches, religious people, from gathering socially distanced outside wearing masks.
Mom, I want to get my lip pierced. Honey, you are not mature enough to make that decision. Now come on, it's time for your hormone therapy.
This is what happens whenever you ask a transgender activist to explain even the basic premise of the movement, is they'll immediately say, well, who cares? Why are you so obsessed with this? I'm not obsessed with this. I'm not the one who started sending men into the women's bathroom and taking away their trophies and castrating kids. I'm perfectly happy with the way things have worked for thousands of years. It is the transgender activists who are trying to upend everything. And so I think it is at least my right to ask the question, okay, what is the premise of your movement? But they always deflect from that. They always withdraw from the debate. They always try to change the subject because there is no answer. So you ask me, well, what's the purpose of, why do you even care? What's the purpose of knowing someone's biological sex? Well, for starters, because we have civil rights specifically for women in the United States. We have special bathrooms for women. We have special sports leagues for women. We have all sorts of special places and rights and privileges and that are for women that are not for men. So if now some men, people who at the very least appear to be men, are claiming a right to go into those women's bathrooms, then we either have to abolish all of the special rights and privileges that have existed for women for all of human history and are enshrined in our law, or they need to explain to me how those men are actually women. And they can't do the latter, and I'm not willing to do the former, and I don't think women across this country are willing to do the former, even if a few people have been so ideologically blinded that they would give in to this kind of an absurdity.
It is an actual replication of my husband's penis with his ashes in it that I have slowly been spreading around the gathering, and he's here.
Yeah, he is there. And he's also wondering why he is there in the first place.
How arrogant are you to think that you deserve to go through life with no one ever saying anything that you don't agree with or like? I want people to stop saying that joke's offensive.
Yeah.
I want them to start saying I found it offensive. Because that's all it is. You're just telling me how you feel about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing intrinsically offensive about this joke. It's trying to make I'm offended sound important.
Yeah.
It's no different to saying I've got a pain in my leg.
Yeah.
But I believe you.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to do with me. Yeah, but you shouldn't hurt people's feelings. Well, you can if their feelings are wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you don't like the facts, don't change the facts, change the feelings.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pave the jungle.
Yeah.
You can just grow up there and have a laugh about it.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Oh.
No.
What are you doing?
You do not.
Hey.
You do not.
What are you doing? What? Hey.
You do not take pictures of me.
Look what you're doing.
Right. Look what you're doing, kid.
What?
Yeah, we're not a violent, non-aggressive group. We just want society to accept us the way we are. And then they go nuts when you put a camera in their face.
You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true.
To all the white, cisgendered, heterosexual people in the room, don't speak at all during this meeting. You've had your time for long enough. You know, history has favored you. Just be quiet. And I went, that doesn't sound right. And I looked around the room that I was in, and people were nodding and agreeing, some even smiling for what she just said. And that night I went home to my white family, my conservative white grandparents who had taken care of me my entire life, made sure I went to school, made sure I had a job, made sure I got scholarships. And I thought, doesn't quite make sense to hold these two beliefs in my brain that white people are inherently racist while I have this family that's taking care of me.
How many genders are there?
Well, at this day and age, there's multiple genders. You pretty much can be whatever you want to be. But what I have thought about and have come to discover that 100 years from now, when we're all in the grave and some archaeologists come and dig us up, you're either going to be a man or you're going to be a woman. So I have to say two.
LA City Council members Hugo Soto Martinez and Nithya Raman were on hand today to help remove the signs. They say the no cruising and no U-turn signs were put up in the 1990s to prevent people in the gay community from meeting up with other gay people.
I was also surprised that these these U-turn signs were still up. And at first, they seem a little, oh, okay, it's just a no U-turn sign. But when you learn the history of it and you realize that these were used to profile gay people, it's so important that we have these removed.
The LA City Council members say the signs were put up after the gay community began to grow and because there was a gay bar in that area.
The LGBTQ HDGV, ladies and gentlemen, where street signs offend them. Let that sink in.
I am so tired of talking about woke culture. No, free speech is not some right-wing reframing of whatever. It's the foundation of Western civilization. Upon this civilization is built. I don't have to make the point that has been made by far better people that the only way to deal with the problem of racism is to treat people on the content of their character and nothing else. And the fact that woke culture seeks to overturn that is a new form of racism that we must all oppose. I am not going to talk to those of you who already agree with me, which I imagine is most of you. I want to talk to those of you who are woke and who are open to rational argument. A small minority, I accept. Because one of the tenets of wokeness is, of course, that your feelings matter more than the truth. But I believe in you. I believe there are those of you here who are woke, who are open to rational argument, so let me make one.
What if a man decides that his gender identity is woman?
A woman has its own duty, and a man has its own duty, and a lady cannot do the duty of a man, and a man cannot do a duty of a woman.
Can a man become a woman?
No.
No?
No.
What about a transgender? Transgender?
No.
No?
It will look like if you want to become a lady but you're a man, you have something wrong in your mind. Something wrong in your family, something wrong in you.
What about if someone was non-binary?
Come again?
Non-binary? Do you know, like non... Like someone is...
You're not a woman, you're not a man.
Yeah, someone is neither. There's something else. Is that...
He's saying we have never seen things like those. For a man, he has a penis. For a woman, he has a vagina. So we know this is a lady, this is a man.
This is a queer fat club.
I'm queer and fat.
Okay, thank you for joining. We're just introducing ourselves at the moment.
Okay.
Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Joe?
Yeah, my name's Joe. I go by he, they, and I identify as 275 pounds.
Okay.
I feel like Jay's kind of making fun of me, though. I know it's kind of a shock. I know. Kind of a new thing.
I'm just,
Do what?
I said I apologize.
Oh, no, you're good.
Are you comfortable leaving the group at the moment?
Why?
I'm not understanding why you're joining the group.
This is the queer and fat group now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I came here for.
Okay. And you said you identify as fat?
Yeah.
Okay. This is just for fat-bodied people.
Yeah, I understand. I identify as a fat-bodied person.
I'm not understanding where you're coming from.
Are you guys comfortable with me here? I mean, I'm pretty chill on my end.
I'm not comfortable, no.
Can we take like a vote?
I'm gonna ask you to...
Oh, we're inclusive. We love all kinds of people. And then when you flip their delusion back on them, they act confused.
I am a Pacific Islander and I am a senior in high school and I plan on attending college. Many of my teachers have told me, especially my counselors, like I've been nervous about getting into colleges. Many have told me you're a person of color, like you're guaranteed a spot in the college of your dreams. And I've been told that by many of my teachers. And I wanted to ask you what you thought about it because I refuse to believe that I'm going to be accepted into the college of my dreams due to the color of my skin or the underrepresentation of my people. And more on, I have great grades, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, and I plan on...
Affirmative action always puts one person above another based on characteristics that I don't think are important. And you have just beautifully isolated what is so deeply morally wrong about affirmative action, which is you've studied really hard, I imagine, right? You've applied yourself. And your teachers are looking at you as a skin color. They're not looking at you as someone with good character, good test grades, someone that shows up and does all the extra homework. They're obsessed with your skin color. And we have a word for that. It's called being a racist and a bigot. I hate to cut to that too fast. Let me tell you the tragedy that you're going to have to navigate. Let's pretend your dream school is Stanford, and you go to Stanford. People are going to think you got there just because of your skin color. It creates more racism. They're not going to assume that you had good grades, that you could have gotten in on your own merits, which, based on how articulate you ask the question, you probably could. We want a society based on how hard somebody works, how hard they apply themselves, the content of their character.
You see what this woke mindset does to people? It just makes them lazy. Woke people believe that they deserve to be in the best position in life without putting in any kind of hard work to get into that position. That's why the woke mindset is a lazy mindset.